What's happening, man? White Boy Radio back with another one. We have a weirdo that got exterminated. You have two guys have been to prison. I think the sheriff said one has 30 felonies, the other has 16. They're fresh out of prison. They're both gang members of different gangs. Get released out of prison into a homeless shelter. And there's a guy there. He gives the dude 3 warnings. And a warning, a can of whoop ass, and a death. Let's get into it.
Suspect here didn't appreciate that and really didn't appreciate that he was doing it in front of ladies, so he warned him to quit it. Well, he didn't. So the next time he caught him pleasuring himself, he beat him up and injured him, cut him. And then the third time that he caught him pleasuring himself, after he'd already warned him and beat him up, he killed him. Well, it took care of the problem. But he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail for murder.
Yeah, man, so you see it here. Try to break this down real fast, everybody. You have 2 gang members, man. 2 gang members here getting out of the chain gang. Look, everybody doesn't have a place to go. Which, you know, if you think about that for a second, these guys are both in the system as gang members. Current gang members, active gang members. They don't, so that means if they don't have any family out there, they don't have any loved ones, they can at least depend on their brothers for a spot to go at. It shows you what gangs are about. They're about nothing. Let that be a lesson, man. Anybody who still thinks gangs are cool, whatever. But hey, look, this is a real simple thing, man. I've spoke about this subject a few times on the channel. It is disgusting. I just did a live the other day. I said I would never let my wife work inside a prison because we were talking about the other day. Inmates have gang, prison love. Check the video out. But, look, there's some sickos in there, man. Some real predators, man. Real sexual predators. These dudes just masturbate all the time. It's a sickness. It really is. It really is. I'll share a story one time. I was in jail one time. This is not prison, but jail. Waiting on canteen, okay? And I was waiting by the staircase. There was a woman who came through that handed out all the stuff for Airmark. Okay, she had a big old cart of goodies, chips, soups, Twinkies, ho-hos, zoom zooms, and wham whams. And she would come, put the flap down, and call your number out, hand you your receipt, give you all your food items. When you put an order in, it's like it feels like Christmas Day when you see that lady. And she wore a lot of perfume. She was like, I don't know, 50 something years old. She probably was 230 pounds. Not for nothing. I'm just saying, when you're in jail, everything smells good, and it's a woman. Okay, it's a woman. You're surrounded by, it's a sausage party in there. Okay, so to smell her was kind of refreshing, but to get the food was even better for me. There's some real sickos in there. I turned around. I'm waiting in line to get my stuff. I turn around. I'm on steps. I turn around. There's a dude. He's got his cock out, and he's just going to town. Like literally, like right behind me. So I turn around to look at something, and I see dick. I'm like, dude, you got to tighten me up. Like, what if he was to finish? It's on my back. So I handled business, man. I beat the bricks off that dude. Beat the bricks off. Thank God I look back. I forget what it was. But anyway, they're sickos. It's sickos. And these dudes, some COs, some women COs, they don't go for it. Some women COs can't stand it when dudes do that. Others, they don't care, or they just let it fly. Some of them really like it. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but it's a sickness, man. Because these dudes bring this crap out to the street. If you have an individual doing something like that, just masturbating, okay, in front of people, to a fully clothed woman, what do you think that gravitates to, where do you think that sickness goes to when he gets out? He's going to take something. So anyway, man, these guys are in a homeless shelter. I can't recognize with that. I've never been in a homeless shelter. And this surprises me is there's women inside the homeless shelter. So this weirdo is doing the same stuff inside the homeless shelter. And even though they're rival gang or they're different gang members, I guess these two dudes were living near each other. Their stuff, they were living quarters were near each other in this homeless shelter. And dude, his name was Mexico. Let's check him out right quick.
That there was possibly a murder.
So he gives the guy a warning, man. He tells him what's up. And both these guys been to prison before. That's a respect thing. The dude that was behind me that time, he was doing what he's doing. But when I turned around, he knew I was pissed. And we went and handled up. I beat the bricks out that dude. But he knew he was dead wrong for that. He tried to argue with me, but he knew he's dead wrong. This dude knows what's going on. Okay, buddy tells him, hey man, that shit is not cool. You know, he actually stuck up for whatever homeless women were in there. He even warned what he was gonna do. And these guys are just from the chain gang. Okay, dude did not listen, evidently. So dude beat him up, and the sheriff said he cut him. So I guess the guy had a knife. He went to the extreme to beat him up and cut him. I told you it's a sickness. The guy still didn't stop. So this man told him what he was going to do. He acted on what he said he was going to do. And the third time, he evidently killed him and took him to some jungle up in southwest Florida, and buried him in a shallow grave. It's pretty nuts. I mean, I don't know what to say about this one, man. Most people will say, man, okay, that's pretty sick, but he doesn't deserve to die and this and that. I mean, they caught the guy right away. So there's two lost lives here if you think about it. One's gone, and one is gone incarcerated. It's institutionalized, man. But it's hard. It is a sickness, man. I think you have to really experience what the heck I'm talking about to know the level of disrespect that is. I mean, obviously you have to. Nobody who is not in prison or jail has ever been through something like that. But it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. Think about the women who in that homeless shelter that have going through rough times that have never experienced anything like that. They're probably like, what in the hell? This is pretty crazy, man. To get a life sentence, man, you're never getting out. You're never getting out. They did say, though, the guy had nothing but violent charges. Nothing but violent charges. So this guy with this sickness, you have to take what he said. What did he do? Take it with a grain of salt? The dude's been to prison like 6 times for violent stuff every time. And he's warning you he's telling you what he's going to do. And you still jerking. Dude, I mean, this is out of control. Florida, of course. Look, man, those dudes that do that type of stuff, man, it's a real sickness, man. They call it gunning on the inside. I went to confinement once. I went a few times, but these weirdos that do this type of thing, when they go to confinement, you only have a very small area to pace back and forth. From the cell, all over the cell. And there's a little window, a little piece of window about this thick, wide, and about that tall. When the weirdos go back there for jerking it, they put a cardboard over it because it doesn't matter if you're in confinement, the nurse has to walk around and give you meds and stuff. People take medication. What do you think they do when the nurse comes? Same thing the dude the step was doing. Man, it's a sickness, man, and it gravitates, man, to more sexual assaults. You know, it is really disgusting, man. I have no respect for those guys. Even though I have no respect, I don't think the dude should have died. I think it's a little extreme. It's just a very weird story. I thought I'd bring it to y'all. Tell me how you feel about it. Who was right? Who was wrong? How messed up is this? Do you agree with it? Do you agree that it is a sickness? For sure it is, man. But hey, man, it's White Boy Radio, man. You know, be careful, man. There's weirdos out there. Be careful. Ladies, get some mace. Dudes, beat his ass, but don't kill him. My advice. Catch y'all on the next one, man. It's at White Boy Radio. Getter, Twitter, and we'll see y'all.
I care less about that attorney and whatever he feels and thinks about. That family has ignored phone calls. That girl used to live there.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe, bitches.